All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachakodash, Kal Halayim, La Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the elder apostles, great millstone, who rule well, and salutation and much love to Yakim out there pushing out his word in truth and sincerity. And this is the brother Ash. We're back with another video, Lord, so it's edifying. I'm just going to go on the return of the Lord, because there's been a lot of talk about so-called UFOs on the mainstream media lately. Oh yeah, they shot down UFOs, which we know that's bullshit. They ain't shoot down no. Well, maybe it was unidentified to them, whatever they shot at, if they even shot at anything. But see, when we talk about UFOs, we're talking about the chariots of the Lords, which are identified for us. All right, those so-called alien ships. Okay, those are the chariots of the Lord. There's angels in there. All right, and the Lord is going to return in one, in a huge fathership, if you will. But let's go ahead and start. Isaiah 66 and 15 says, "For behold, the Lord will come with fire, and with his chariots like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury and his rebuke with flames of fire." So when the Lord returns, it's going to be a day of destruction. All right, there's going to be nuclear missiles flying that same very day that the Lord returns. Okay, and the chariots are going to be zapping. It's going to be like the movie what's it called, War of the Worlds, where they were zapping the tripods were zapping everybody, beating them to dust, and that's in the scripture. But verse 16 says, "For by fire and by his sword will the Lord plead with all flesh, and the slain of the Lord shall be many." All right, so the Lord is coming to bring war. He's coming to bring vengeance. All right, and there's not going to be no chariots being shot down. They're going to fight against the Lord and his angels. All right, his host, the heavenly host, but it's going to be a landslide victory. All right, and to prove that he's coming to make war, we can go to Revelation, which is the revealing. Well, we'll start at the first chapter. It says, Revelation 1:7, "Behold, he cometh with clouds," and what's that cloud? That's talking about the chariots. We just read that he's coming with the chariots like a whirlwind, and every eye shall see him. So the skies are going to be filled with so-called UFOs. All right, chariots. So that's why Esau's trying to demonize him now. All right, he got something up his sleeve, but we're not ignorant of his devices. All right, he's not going to deceive the elect, because those are how we're going to be delivered. He's going to present it, but they're also going to be bringing judgment. All right, zapping people with those laser beams, which the scriptures describe them as lightning. Okay, you can read the book of Psalms chapter 18 to get that. But all right, says, "See, every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him, and all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him. Even so, Amen." So when the Lord returns, people are gonna be wailing. Okay, people are gonna be mourning. Why? Because he's gonna come to bring judgment. All right, he's not coming back to, play patty cake with you. This is Revelation 19:11, "And I saw heaven open, and behold, a white horse. And he that sat upon him was called Faithful and True." Speaking on Yahweh Shai, that white horse is that chariot. All right. He's coming in that power, that great power. And it's going to be untouchable. Okay. Not Esau's F-22s, F-16s ain't going to do a damn thing. They're going to try, even though they're going to, well, we'll get to it. It says, "And that sat upon him was called Faithful and True, and in righteousness he doth judge and make war." So the Lord's coming to judge. All right, plead with all flesh, like we read in Isaiah 66. And he's also coming to make war. All right, because you're going to be judged for your good and for your evil works. Let me jump down to verse 19, because he's not just going to fight against Esau. He's fighting against all these nations. They're all going to come together and to try to fight the Lord. Revelation 19 and 19, it says, "And I saw the beast and the kings of the earth and their armies gathered together to make war against him that sat on the horse and against his army." So there you go, man. They're going to try to fight against the Lord. It's going to be an ass whipping. Let me get, what is that? A Revelation 12, I believe, and 11. I forgot what I was looking. That's what Michael and his angels. Here we go. Revelation 12 and 7. It says, and there was a war in heaven. So this war in heaven is talking about when the Lord returns. All right. Because was he coming? He's coming in the clouds. All right. Which are up in the heavens. Okay. So what else is up there? Well, the Esau's fighter jets. All right. They even have a whole squadron called Blue Angels. It says, and there was a war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, which is the beast, and the dragon fought and his angels, and prevailed not, neither was their place found anymore in heaven. So they're going to be brought to nothing. All right, their military is not going to stand against the host of the Lord, which is the military, the army of the Lord. And the chief angel, one of the archangels, Michael, is coming. All right, so you could say like a general, so to say. He's gonna come and execute with his angels, his troops under Yahushai. They're gonna be fighting. All right, it's gonna be like a dog fight. You watch these dog fights of these fighter jets. Well, they're gonna be toying with Esau, man. Let's get the count of what's gonna go down on when the Lord returns. We go to 2nd Ezra chapter 13. I just started at verse 1. It says, and it came to pass, after 7 days I dreamed a dream by night, and lo, there arose a wind from the sea, that it moved all the waves thereof. And I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. And that's who we read about in Revelation 19, the one that's coming on that white horse, all right, with his angels, his host. Well, actually, let's get that real quick in Matthew. I think it's in Matthew 24, and like 30. Yep, it says Matthew 24. Actually, let me get it in the blue letter. This is Matthew 20. Matthew 24. And what was that? 30. It says, and then shall the Son shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven, and then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, like we read in Revelation 1:7. They're going to be wailing. And they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. So, get this word here for, I think it's power. Yep. You go to this word power right here. Power consisting in or resting upon armies, forces, the host. So the Lord's coming with great power and great glory. Let's read that in the NLT. It says, and then at last the sign that the Son of Man is coming will appear in the heavens, and there will be deep mourning among all the people. Yeah, because they're going to think it's a space invasion. But it is going to be an invasion, a righteous invasion of the Lord, the King of Kings, Lord of Lords, the Son of the Most High, coming with those band of angels, his army. Okay, and then to bring judgment. Of course, people are going to be wailing, but the elect will be rejoicing. It says, deep mourning among all the peoples of the earth, and they will see the Son of Man coming on the clouds of heaven with great power and great glory. So that was the point on that. Go back to 2nd Ezra 13. It says, verse 3, it says, and I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. So that's that great power that he's coming with. And when he turned his countenance to look, all things trembled that were under him. Yep, because what people are going to be mourning and wailing. Oh, come on, man. Salakia. There you go. Verse 4, and whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burned that heard his voice, like as the earth falleth when it fleeth the fire. And after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of number from the four winds of the heaven to subdue the man that came out of the sea. So these great multitude, right, that gathered together from the four winds of the earth, or the four corners of the earth, are these the beast and his army, and the kings and their armies. All right, these nations coming together to fight the Lord. Verse 6, it says, but I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain and flew upon it. That's that huge chariot. It looked. Ezra thought it was a mountain. That's how big it is. If it says 7, but I would have seen the region or place where where out the hill was graven, and I could not. So it was so big. He was looking for a mountain, a piece of earth missing, but he couldn't. Couldn't even see the end of it, man. That's how big it was. It says, verse 8. And after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were sore afraid, and yet durst fight. So these people, these military men, these mighty men, they're going to be shitting their pants. But the Lord's going to put a spirit on them to still fight. Because like Esau, man, the pride of his heart has deceived him. He going to go out guns blazing and then going to meet a fiery death. Okay? Esau's jets ain't going to stand a chance. All his B-52 bombers and F-22 Raptors and this and that, MiG-32, it don't give a damn what they call it. That shit's going to be destroyed. All right? It's going to be ass whipping. Verse 9, and lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude, yeah, they're going to be shooting missiles at the Lord. Just like in the movie Independence Day, they were shooting missiles. Come on, and none of that had an effect on the big chariot, right? Remember, they were shooting, it had like a force field. Come on, man. Them chariots are something beyond this world, man. You're gonna shoot some missiles, some scuds. Hell, they probably will even try to nuke the Lord, shoot some nukes at him. It wouldn't surprise me. It says, he neither lifted up his hand, nor held sword, nor any instrument of war, but only I saw that he sent out of his mouth as it had been a blast of fire. That's them laser beams. Pew! And out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests. Salakia. And they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude which was prepared to fight. So these laser beams are going to be, hitting these jets, people, tanks, buildings, and just obliterate them, Shit's going to be exploding. It says, and burn them up every one, so that upon a sudden of an innumerable multitude, nothing was to be perceived, but only dust and smell of smoke. When I saw this, I was afraid. So even Ezra was afraid when he saw this vision. And I've had visions of this before. It could have been a couple years now, but I've seen, I've seen it. It was a dream, I believe it to be a vision, but the Lord was just laser beaming people, and this shit was intense, So imagine, Ezra's being in that vision, actually being in there, So this has already happened, and this is what they want you to know. That the Lord, that people that are into actual UFOs, we're not talking about no fucking Chinese balloons and, whatever other bullshit they got. But we're talking about the actual chariots of the Lord that people see every day. You can go on the internet and find them. Thousands and thousands, if not millions, of videos of so-called UFOs, which we know to be the chariots of the Lord. When they return, they're coming to do the business of the Lord, all right? Bringing his will to fruition, man. So, this is the times we're living in. The return of the Lord is soon, all right? And he's going to plead with all flesh, as we read at the beginning. So with that, Lord's willing, this was edifying. Until next time, I say shalom. And then Muwat Lababal.